Hey guys, it is ToPro or Adam, and as you guys can see by the title, today's video is all about Town. And Town, in my opinion, is one of the best maps in COD Zombies. And I wouldn't say Town is a underrated map. I think a lot of people like Town, a lot of people play Town, but I think Town is more of a undervalued map both by the community and by Treyarch. Now before I jump into the actual video, just like on my Die Rise video, go ahead and pause right now and comment below what would you rate Town out of 10 right now before seeing any gameplay or anything like that. And also, if you want to drop a sentence or two letting me know why you like it or why you don't like it, that'd be awesome. There were a lot of really interesting comments on the Die Rise video, so please go ahead and comment right now. Also guys, if you like this kind of video, please smash a like right now. With zombies being in such a weird position, every single like counts. Besides that, let's go ahead and talk more about what makes Town so special. Town is a really strange map just because it is a section of Transit, and Transit obviously is one of the worst maps. So how can a section of Transit be so good when all of Transit is so bad? And one thing that I think they did really well when it came to Transit was creating these survival maps, which was Bus Depot, Farm, and Town. Each of these maps were kind of challenging in their own ways. Obviously, Bus Depot was the Nocturne and Totem of BO2. Then, of course, Farm was a pretty small map. You had perks and no pack-a-punch. And then Town, though, Town was still a small map, but it was a little bit bigger than Farm. But you had the pack-a-punch, you had the perks, and you had the weapons, the core elements of what Zombies is. Going back to what I said at the start of the video, Town necessarily isn't an underrated map. I think Town is just undervalued by the community and undervalued by Treyarch. I think Treyarch needs to realize that a map like Town, first of all, is very popular in BO2, but this type of map is perfect for new players. It is super inviting for new players, being able to jump on a map like Town where things are pretty much just right there for you and you just have fun playing zombies. And a map like Town needs to be in every single Zombies mode. And the sad thing is, when you look at all of these zombie maps, especially over BO3 and BO4, we don't really have a lot of maps like Town. In fact, there's only one map that I can really think of, which is the Giant from BO3. The Giant is a very simple and basic map. You hop on that map, you pack-a-punch, you buy perks, get weapons, and that's it. It's a very simple and chill map. But besides Jerice, there aren't a lot of maps in COD Zombies that are as simple and as basic as Town is. That's the one thing that makes Town such a good map. It is simple, and that's one thing that Zombies nowadays kind of lacks, is simplicity. There are definitely times for, you know, Easter eggs and these complex maps, but there are also times where, you know what, I don't really feel like doing all of these things to Pack-a-Punch. A great example is Dead of the Night. You have to do so many different little things just to kind of open the map up and get things going. Sometimes I just want to load up the game and play Zombies and not have to do all these little side quests. When you first load up Town, you are standing and staring at the Pack-a-Punch machine right away, and then from there, you only have 3 doors to open. One to open up Spicula, one to open up the bar where there is Revive and a box location, and the last one is to open up Jug. All these doors can be easily opened up in the first 5 rounds, and at that point, you have the entire map opened up. You have all these perks, the Pack-a-Punch and the box right there, and you just get to play Zombies. That sometimes is really just satisfying, and it's chill, it is relaxing. Going out of your way to do all these little side quests to open up all of these different things, like I just mentioned, can sometimes be annoying and sometimes can be a little bit stressful. I want to quickly jump over to World War II Zombies because they did a phenomenal job with these small, fun maps. You look at the release release of World War II, you had the Final Reich, which was kind of a regular sized map, a ton of a ton of side quests, all that stuff was good, but then you had a map like Groston House, and personally, I played a ton of World War II Zombies, and one map I played probably the most was Groston House, because there were a lot of times where, you know what, I was kind of tired, I didn't feel like focusing all that much on zombies, I just wanted to hit the box and just kind of spray and pray and see how long I could survive, and World War II Zombies did such a good job of that, even in DLC 3, when they had those 3 small survival maps. It honestly made zombies so much more enjoyable. For those of you who haven't caught on, what I'm trying to say is Town is good because it's simple. Town is good because it is actually overly simple, and that's one thing that Zombies really lacks nowadays, because Zombies at one point was really simple. World at War, even a lot of BO1 maps like Toten, there's a reason why that map was so popular. There's a reason why that map is one of the most played Chronicle maps, because it is a simple and enjoyable map, and Black Ops 4 really needs a dose of Town. One other thing that makes Town a really good map is it supports all of the different playstyles. For such a small map, being able to both camp and train is really nice, because if you want to camp for a certain amount of time, or you love camping in zombies, you have the option. If you want to train, Town has a bunch of great training spots as well. When it comes to difficulty, Town is perfect. It is not too hard and it's not too easy. I have some games where I get to round 50 flawlessly, and there are some games where I have 3 downs before round 30, so if you're not paying attention, you can easily take it down, but at the same time, you can kind of play a relaxing, chill game of zombies and not always have to worry about taking these silly downs, because you know what? Everything is right there. If you do down, buying your perks back are pretty easy. So Town, from a difficulty and a playstyle perspective, is honestly amazing. Last thing I want to touch on is the weapons on this map, because the weapons are really important when it comes to a small map like this. You had a really OP wonder weapon, the map would be way too easy whenever you had that one gun. It would turn into a walk in the park, and that sometimes can ruin, or it will ruin, a map like this. So the weapons on Town are perfect, right? Your wonder weapons are your ray gun and your ray gun Mark II, and the Mark II is incredibly difficult to get from the box, which is kind of nice having a super rare gun like that. The ray gun obviously is super easy, and then of course the BO2 weapon set is perfect. You have a couple of bad guns, a lot of decent slash, mediocre guns, and then you have a couple of really good guns. The weapon set is balanced and it perfectly matches this map. Part of me really wishes that Treyarch continued doing these kinds of maps for zombies, because Town, again, it's just a section of Transit now. Transit definitely is a really big map, so it's a lot easier to take sections out of it and make their own map. But for example, let's just use Origins. Imagine if they took a section of Origins and made that its own survival map with all the perks there, and of course the Pack-a-Punch and the box. And in order to unlock the Origin survival map, all you have to do is finish the Easter egg, right? That would be a great incentive to do the egg, because you're then awarded with a survival map, and at the same time you can play a version of Origins where you just get to chill and don't have to do all of these different quests. It's honestly too bad that we haven't had more maps like Town in Zombies today, especially in a game like BO4, where I think it truly needed it, because we all had such high expectations. We were all hoping to get a ton of new players into Zombies, and even though a map like IX is pretty simple and pretty straightforward, having a map like Town, or something similar to Town where it's just flat out survival, is something that I personally really miss, and I think would really benefit Black Ops 4 Zombies, or it would have when the game first came out. The maps we have now definitely aren't bad. Having these, you know, crazy side quests and Easter eggs and all these steps unlock map definitely isn't bad, but sometimes it's nice having a map like Town to remind us what Zombies once was. That's why I think Town is so good. It is what made Zombies so popular in the first place. It is just pure survival and pure fun, and maybe one day, hopefully, you never know, in future DLCs, we might see a map like Town return to Treyarch Zombies. Besides that, guys, in the video, drop a like, subscribe for a ton of COD Zombies content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.